My friends, I am in your debt.
Think nothing of it. Your wounds are healing well, I trust.
Some wounds do not heal. The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters. For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it. The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his Knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatoskr, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits. Upon learning of their treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
Aye, but Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy, for from his brother Hreysvelgr did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
Whilst Thordan's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born, and ever since that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too-fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well? Thordan's betrayal of Ratatoskr was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment? Nay, say I. I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice. This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people. You have given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country. And what would you say to them? What would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught? Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well. Do not despair, my son. Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity, and bring about the change you so fervently desire. If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
You saw something, did you not? A vision of the past?
So this is the power of the Echo. Would that it had shown you a finer moment from my past. 'Twas an exercise in futility, as you saw. Faced with the firmity of his conviction and his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
A friend once impressed upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank self-serving delusion. Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring about.
I have given some thought to that as well. During the battle within the vault, the Heavensward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Haurchefant was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls. 7 hells!
If Lady Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
Are the Heavensward truly so reckless?
Unbelievable!
As they fled, my father spoke of Azis La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it. His ambitions are too great, and his minions too powerful. We must find the Heavensward and stop my father before it is too late.
to the northern reaches of the Sea of Clouds, where countless isles yet remained uncharted. In search of a mysterious land known as Azizlar, and the unmasked villain who sought to claim its secrets. Oblivious to the new threat which followed in their wake, they came.
Protect me!
all made. Darkness, light to none. No. Hearken. Receiver, blessing, small.
So falls the Lord of Mists, as did all others before him. How many times does this make, warrior of light? Ah, how much you have grown, far beyond the limits of mere mortals.
She has what we seek.
That she does. The key to Azizla and the secrets of Alag. I see you have regained the blessing of light, albeit at a fraction of its former strength.
My thanks to you, Ascian. And to you as well, Warrior of Light, for saving us the effort of slaying Bismarck. Now that the key is within our grasp, the path to the heavens shall at last be laid bare. Ha 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 ha! By our deeds shall the wrongs of antiquity be righted, and man reclaim the reins of history.
Wait, something is amiss. Imperial troops. And they have already secured the area.
Reveal yourselves at once! And there I was, expecting more beastmen. Who are you?
I thought Ishgardians responsible for the disappearance of our scouts, but I see now that I was mistaken. Just as Huayr observed, the Warrior of Light is wont to appear at the most inopportune times.
The Warrior of Light? She who bested Van Baelsar?
It would seem that the famous hero of Eorzea seeks Azizlar as well. Hardly unexpected. The secrets of the Allagan's power to bind icons to their will could scarcely fail to interest the scions of the Seventh Dawn. You know as well as we what will ensue should these insatiable creatures be allowed to roam free. That their very existence threatens the life of this star. We but disagree on the solution to the problem.
Genocide has ever been the Empire's favored recourse. And that is why we will continue to oppose your every attempt to claim Eorzea.
You do not hesitate to speak your mind, even when your every word could be your last. Alas, your sentiments betray the narrowness of your view. The fate of Eorzea and its inhabitants is of little concern next to the fate of the world. 'Tis my solemn charge as Emperor to bring the icons to heel. If this requires the extermination of certain elements, then so be it.
No, don't! They are not his thralls!
Where did that come from?
Take cover!
Your Radiance, we must withdraw.
We shall meet again, Warrior of Light. On that you have my word.
So Garlemald too has designs on Azizlar. But why would the Emperor himself elect to lead the expedition?
I did not think that I would ever have occasion to pilot a suit of Magitech armor again, least of all under these circumstances. My full name is Lucia Go Junius, and I was born a citizen of Garlemald.
Ah, that explains it. When we first met in Ishgard, I very nearly called you Livia.
Livia? Livia Sas Junius? The tribunus who served under Gaius van Baelsar?
Aye, she was my sister, though we spent little time together. After our parents were killed in an uprising, we were sent to live in different households, setting us on separate paths. Livia felt at home on the battlefield and chose to become a soldier, while I underwent training to become a spy.
Then, Ishgard was...
my mission. It was believed that Allagan relics of great worth were stored in the vault, and I was sent to investigate. Though I was given little information at the time, I now suspect I was searching for the key we but recently lost. And then I met Sir Emmerich. 'Twas his usefulness to my mission which prompted me to approach him, but I soon found myself drawn to him for other reasons. He too was a prisoner of his past, judged for his heritage as a bastard son of the Archbishop. Yet unlike my sister and I, he did not curse his fate. He simply rose above it. In time, I came to realize that I had found a man worth following, and a new home besides. And when I subsequently confessed all to Sir Emmerich, he was good enough to accept me into his service.
I do not question your loyalty to Sir Emmerich. 'Tis your loyalty to your sister which concerns me.
I have long been of the opinion that those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future. My sister fought for her convictions and for those she held dear. So do I. So must we all.
Well, I, for one, am happy to welcome a fellow Garlean to our merry band. Especially one who can make Magitech armor sing.
Chief, we should be getting close.
Once we break through those clouds, we'll be right where the light was pointing. Right where Azizlar should be.
Hold on, everyone! Look! I think that's it! Chief, is that... Allagan? Aye. There's no mistaking their handiwork.
What was that?
Some sort of barrier.
She won't hold, Chief! She's breaking up!
I've lost the auxiliary propeller!
Sid, it's no use! We must return to Ishgard and find another way!
God damn it all! Why do the Allagans always have to make everything so bloody complicated? In summary, the Isle owes its lofty position to the industry of the Allagans, and we can be all but certain that the Archbishop and his cronies are enjoying the view from its top.
I see.
If we are to join them, we will first need to pass through the Isle's etheric barrier, which is, alas, more powerful than most. Powerful enough to make a mess of a perfectly good airship at any rate. As far as I can gather, the barrier mechanism draws ether from the surrounding environment and polarizes its elemental aspect to produce what is, in effect, a wall of lightning.
It seems plain that without the Vanu's key, any attempt to reach the Isle will end in failure.
Alas, the key was careless enough to leave without us, and I don't think the Vanu keep a spare.
Master Garland, based on your experience, is there no other way that we might breach the barrier?
Well, in the past, we've beaten similar barriers by nullifying them with elemental converters. But the one we're up against this time dwarfs aught we've encountered before. The Enterprise simply isn't large enough to bear the requisite amount of crystals.
I'm reminded of the quantity needed to nullify Leviathan's command of the sea. A veritable mountain of crystals that could only be borne by lashing 2 galleons together to form a twin vessel, scarcely able to propel itself, much less fly.
That said, we're not without options. If it isn't feasible to nullify the barrier, we might try piercing it.
How?
We create a ram of condensed ether and mount it on my ship. There's just one problem. I don't have the faintest idea how to build one. It's going to take a true authority in the field, I reckon.
Would that the Archons were still with us.
But yesterday evening, I chanced to find Mistress Tataru in unusually high spirits. Assuming I understood her excited ramblings correctly, she has acquired a clue, pointing to the whereabouts of one such individual.
An Archon? Truly?
Ha! Fortune favors the righteous, eh? Well then, let's not waste any time. While you go and look for our missing friend, I'll work on modifying the Enterprise. Her hull will need reinforcing to bear the punishment, not to mention a mount for the ram. Just you wait, my pretty. By the time I'm finished, you'll be an airship reborn.